Good morning, good morning, good morning. Buenos dias, mi gente. Yo. Welcome to Daily Discipline number 272. Rob Hoback here. Happy that you're joining us. Honored and humbled that you keep coming back, like for reals. It is a manic Monday. It's the 15th day of July. It's also a work day. It's time to get after it, so let's do it. First things first, still the realist. I'm also a teacher, right? Yeah. So I had my kids all weekend. They're still here. In fact, they're sleeping. And it's fun when they're younger, at least for me, to watch them evolve, right? To see where like the light goes on. And with different kids, it happens at different times, different things. I saw it with all three kids over the weekend. I saw Jack doing stuff, that he has remembered and that he's been taught. Same way with Addison, same way with Sam. And each one of them moves at their own pace. And I just remind myself every time they're doing something that I don't want them to do, or they're doing it, I'm like, well, you're the teacher. Like, this is your responsibility. So, and I take it seriously and I enjoy it. So, yeah, I'm a teacher. One of the things that I've been teaching my kids is to appreciate the greatness that goes on around us and to embrace it. And, just to realize we can do whatever we want. So it's part of being a teacher. My thank yous, I got a couple of them. Number one, over the weekend, the Wimbeldon finals came down. So that I'm thankful for Wimbledon, right? And I'm not a huge tennis fan, which leads me to my question. My question is, why is tennis scoring so confusing, right? Like, can't we do something about this? Like, you want a younger generation to adopt it, and my kids are watching. They're like, Daddy, I don't understand the scoring. I'm like, it took me a long time to figure it out too. But so let's just talk a little bit about it. So we're thankful about Wimbledon. Why is tennis so confusing? And I just wanted to share a couple things for you. So in case you weren't paying attention. Again, Wimbledon, they play it in London. A lot of history there, pomps, or all that stuff, right? Very formal. Well, over the weekend, a couple of the big storylines. Number one, yeah, this is actually the most important. As we were watching that, Addison's like, Daddy, I think I want to play tennis too. I'm like, good, sissy. Whatever you want to play, I'm down with it. So, but there were several different, just very compelling storylines. Number one, Serena Williams, who has been one of the most dominant women in tennis ever. She's looks like she's on the downhill side of her career. She's 37 years old, about to be 39 here in a couple of months. And while she has made it to the finals, the last couple she's gotten swept, which is, you watch it and you're like, whoa. And you can just see when they're talking to her, the wheels turn. She's like, something's going on here. And she still sees it as everybody else is giving their very best effort to beat her, which they probably are, right? Like if you're an up-and-coming player and you get the opportunity to play against a Serena Williams, you realize she's 37 years old. She just had a baby within the last couple of years. She's still not herself. And you're young and you're 10 years, 15 years. Like, get after it, right? Then yesterday we got to watch, Saturday afternoon, as we were watching that and getting ready to go to the birthday party, we got to watch Roger Federer beat Rafa Nadal. Again, these guys that are going to walk into the Hall of Fame, but what was impressive is that the match went like 8 hours. And Roger Federer is almost exactly the same age as Serena Williams. So while Federer's been dominant on the men's side, she's been dominant on the women's side. And you watch both of them coming in, and they've still got enough game that they're always in contention. But it looks like they just don't have enough left to finish it. And so Federer got to the finals, and then he played against the Joker, Djokovic, and it was another epic. It was like 5 hours. So 12 hours of tennis in 2 days for a guy that's almost 38 years old. It's impressive. And so as I'm watching it and observing it, I'm like, you know what? It feels like tennis is in this transformation where begrudgingly the titans of tennis are being forced to pass the baton to the next generation, and they're in no hurry to do it. So it's just, we're talking about two people, Serena and Roger, who've been dominant since 2002. That's when they both first became number one in their sport. So we're talking 17 years. That's amazing. This is like the equivalent of Tom Brady over in the NFL, and most people aren't even watching. So just thanks. I appreciate the greatness. Two other things I want to share with you over the weekend that I found interesting. Number one, we were watching, and I believe it was actually a rerun of Saturday Night Live. I don't even remember what the lady's name was. She's Chinese American. She's from Queens, and she was in that movie Crazy Rich Asians. I didn't even watch the whole thing. I only watched the, when she came out and she did her monologue, and she was talking about how 18 years before, she, as a kid from Queens, she had come and stood outside the studio because it was when Lucy Liu first hosted Saturday Night Live, and it was the first time a Chinese woman, a woman of Chinese descent of any, right, notable, had hosted SNL, and that she came and she stood outside, she watched it, and she's like, I didn't get to come in, but I decided right then and there, I'm like, if she can do it, so can I. And she's like, and 18 years later, here I am. See, it almost gets me now. And I was watching it with Addison, and she's like, Daddy, is that making you cry? I'm like, a little that a girl is sitting there in my lifetime, right? While I've been alive, she walked up to a situation and said, I want to do that. She put her mind to it, and there she is. It was amazing. It was beautiful. I appreciate that. Wish I would remember her name. Anyway, the other thing was, I've talked to several of you about the U.S. women's national team. I just want to make sure everybody understands this. Number one, I don't love the way that they've acted, right? But I get it. I get it that if your entire life, you've been told you can't do something, whether you're a woman, you're a lesbian, whatever it is, that when you finally do it, you're going to want to like shove people's nose in. Like, there you go, take that. I get it, right? I also get that it's time to move on. But anyway, and we haven't heard much since the parade, right? Until yesterday, and it came out that Procter & Gamble donated $529,000, to help offset them. And immediately people, their Procter & Gamble's just taking advantage of, the current situation. That, well, no shit there. That's called business. That's called marketing. You see a train, like that train's got momentum. A lot of people like it. I'm going to get on. So good for Procter & Gamble. Good for Secret that they got involved. Because look, there's nothing wrong with doing something great that helps a lot of other people. And then you also just say, hey, come buy my stuff. I love it. So congratulations to all of you. With that, we're done. I got to go get to work. Hands up. Peace out. We're better together. Appreciate you stopping by. You have a great Manic Monday. Go get yours. I'll be back here tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. See ya.